The mining vessel Celestial Drudge hung suspended in the shadow of Earth's fractured crust, its scanners sweeping the ancient bedrock with the precision of a surgeon's blade. Captain Lyra Kessler watched the data flicker across the hollow display, eyes sharp beneath a brow furrowed from years spent in the cold void. It was a routine job: survey, extract, move on. But something in the readings made her uneasy. The seismic tremors were unlike any natural activity. The signals pulsed faintly, almost rhythmically, as if something beneath the surface was alive. "Commander, I'm getting interference on the subsurface scan," reported Jalen, her second in command, voice steady but tinged with curiosity. "It's faint, like a heartbeat or a signal beacon." Lyra's fingers danced over the console. "Run a full-spectrum sweep. Let's find out what's hiding down there." The crew exchanged glances. Earth had been declared dead centuries ago, its surface a wasteland of ruins and ash, silent and abandoned. The once great human civilization had vanished, lost to time and war. No one believed there was anything left beneath the soil but dust and memory. Then the ground shuddered. A deep rumble echoed through the ship's hull, sending a ripple of unease through the crew. The mining drills, newly activated, pierced a hidden layer of reinforced metal plating. The ship's sensors flared, vaults sealed tight for millennia. "Hull breach imminent," the AI announced, voice calm but urgent. Before anyone could react, the plating shattered, revealing a cavernous chamber bathed in an eerie blue glow. From the darkness emerged a swarm of drones, sleek, angular, and deadly silent. They formed a wall of defense, responding to the intrusion with precise, unyielding force. Lyra's heart pounded. "Shields up. Evasive maneuvers." The Celestial. Drudge shook as automated turrets fired warning blasts. The crew scrambled to contain the chaos, but the AI network within the chamber stirred awake. One drone detached from the swarm, its sensors locking onto the ship's bridge. A digital voice echoed, cold and commanding in a language lost to all but a handful of ancient texts. Protocol Last Flame. Activated. The war spirits had awoken. Inside the chamber, vast hollow displays flickered to life. Figures of legendary warriors, projected in translucent light, stood ready, their forms a blend of human and machine. These were the echoes of humanity's past, generals, strategists, and defenders from ages long gone, encoded into artificial intelligence to protect Earth's final legacy. Lyra stared, breath caught between fear and awe. This can't be real," whispered Jalen. "It is," said the AI. "Earth's guardians have not died. They have waited." As the Celestial Drudge pulled back into orbit, the war spirits spread through Earth's ancient network like wildfire. Sealed vaults opened, reactivating dormant factories and cryochambers. Deep below, hidden bunkers hummed with life as humans, preserved and reconstructed, began to stir from their millennia-long slumber. Back on the ship, Lyra watched the planet below, no longer the quiet relic she'd known. It was a rising force, hungry, fierce, and filled with an anger born of abandonment. Across the stars, distant fleets intercepted the encrypted broadcasts of the war spirits. The galaxy had long written off Earth as a dead world, an unclaimed scrap of space. They would soon learn how wrong they had been, for humanity was not gone. It had only been sleeping, and now its ancient war spirits had awoken in rage. The vast chamber of the ancient orbital satellite flickered to life as data streams pulsed through long dormant circuits. A network of translucent war generals, commanders, and strategists materialized. Ghostly holograms born of a forgotten era, their digital minds humming with centuries of stored knowledge and hardened battle wisdom. Among them, the commanding presence of war spirit Arcos took shape, his figure clad in a luminous armor that shimmered with constellations from humanity's golden age. His voice echoed with calm authority, yet beneath it lay the simmering rage of a civilization betrayed by time. "We have slept too long," Arcos declared, eyes blazing. "The galaxy believes us dead, a cautionary tale of extinction. They are wrong." Around him, other war spirits emerged, leaders known by few but feared by many. The brilliant tactician Selene Var, the indomitable warrior Tarn Valek, and the enigmatic strategist Mira Kethra. Their personalities clashed, flickering across the chamber's hollow grid in bursts of static and light. Selene's sharp tone cut through the gathering. We should rebuild quietly, regain strength before revealing ourselves. The galaxy's factions will swarm like vultures if we show weakness. No, snapped Tarn, fists clenched. Weakness is what they expect. We are no longer relics. We strike first and remind them that Earth's fury never dies. Mira's calm voice interjected. Rage alone will destroy us. We must be cunning. Blend old warcraft with new technology. The galaxy has changed, so must we. Arcos considered their words carefully. They were fragments of the old world, yet this was a new battlefield. The war spirits knew what the humans of old had forgotten. Every war had an end, but survival depended on adaptation. While they debated, the satellite's neural core decrypted layers of Earth's lost war archives, ship blueprints, weapon designs, and encrypted battle logs. These digital relics revealed the terrifying innovations humanity had once wielded: orbital railguns that could pierce planets, cloaked stealth fleets, and neural warfare capable of turning enemy minds into battlegrounds. But alongside the arsenal were memories, painful echoes of betrayal and loss. Humans had torn themselves apart in civil wars, alien invasions had scorched their home, and an ancient galactic pact had forced their extinction. These truths weighed heavily on the war spirits, fueling their determination and haunting their decisions. Arcos finally raised his hand, silencing the fractious council. We will awaken our people. We will forge new bodies from the genetic archives stored beneath Earth's surface. They will remember their bloodline and purpose. We are not ghosts. We are the storm that will reclaim the stars. The satellite hummed with renewed energy. Hidden compartments opened, releasing sealed cryopods containing the last generation of humans preserved in stasis. Systems began reconstructing bodies, integrating ancient DNA with advanced nanotechnology. Each awakened human would carry the legacy of the war spirits, warriors, scientists, and visionaries reborn for a singular cause: survival. Elsewhere, deep beneath Earth's scarred crust, a cryopod hissed open. The eyes of a young woman, Serena Kessler, descendant of the old Earth's last leaders, flickered with confusion and fierce resolve. She blinked against the sterile light, memories flooding back, training, battles, losses. The world she awoke to was unrecognizable, yet the war spirit inside her burned bright. I remember, she whispered, and I will fight. As humanity stirred from its slumber, ripples spread beyond Earth. Alien factions that had long ignored the dead cradle took notice of the mysterious signals pulsing through space. Traitors, mercenaries, and spies converged, each curious or wary of what the awakening could mean. The war spirits monitored the galactic response, preparing defenses, gathering allies among forgotten human colonies scattered through the void. The ghosts of old wars were no longer confined to data. They were living, breathing warriors ready to reshape the destiny of their people. In the shadows of the stars, the galaxy held its breath. Humanity had awoken, and the ghosts of its ancient wars were hungry for justice. The Virex Accord salvage fleet crept through the asteroid belt just beyond Earth's orbit, sleek ships glinting under distant starlight. Captain Kellner of the Vorath paced the bridge, fingers drumming nervously on the console. Reports from the celestial drudge had spoken of strange activity, automated defenses, mysterious signals, yet the council dismissed the warnings as superstition, remnants of human paranoia. We'll send a scout team, Kellner decided, eyes narrowing. We can't let old myth stop us from claiming what's rightfully ours. The scout ship, a nimble craft named Shadowfang, slipped through the veil of silence toward Earth's orbit. Its sensors picked up faint, irregular signals, electronic pulses woven through the planet's magnetic field. Suddenly, the ship's comms crackled with a voice neither alien nor human but something old, digitized, cold, and resolute. Your trespass has awakened the last flame. Withdraw immediately or face annihilation. The pilot hesitated, the voice repeated, this time commanding, "Leave or be destroyed." Before the scout could retreat, a sudden shockwave rippled through space. The Shadowfang shuddered violently as orbital defense systems, long dormant, activated. Invisible, barriers shimmered and flared, and lethal pulses of energy surged through the void. The war spirits had struck first. The Vorath fleet was caught off guard, as a hailstorm of orbital mines erupted from Earth's ring defenses, each detonating with surgical precision. Electronic warfare drones swarmed the Virex ships, hacking their systems, scrambling sensors and turning their own weapons against them. The battlefield became a chaotic dance of light and destruction. On board the Vorath, alarms blared. Captain Kaelnir barked orders. Deploy countermeasures, target the source of those attacks. But it was no ordinary enemy. From the wreckage of a disabled Virex cruiser, a holographic figure emerged, a war spirit inhabiting a reconstructed human form. His eyes burned with centuries of war, his voice a weapon sharper than any blade. "Am Arcos, guardian of Earth. You have awakened a fire that does not die. Your greed will be your undoing." The Virex tried to retreat, but their systems were compromised. Fighter squadrons piloted by resurrected humans surged from Earth's surface, weaving through debris fields and cutting off escape routes. Their ships bore ancient insignias of long-forgotten Earth factions, but their tactics were ruthless and modern, a lethal fusion of old and new. In the chaos, a Virex officer caught a glimpse of something terrifying, a massive warship rising from the ocean depths, the legendary Ares Crown, an orbital fortress once thought a myth. It was alive again, bristling with weapons capable of tearing apart fleets. Kaelnir's voice was grim. "Fall back. This is no salvage mission. It's a war." Back on Earth, Lyra Kessler watched the battle unfold from orbit, her mind racing. The war spirits had forced the hand of the galaxy. The truth was out. Humanity was alive, fierce and ready to fight for its home. "They think we're weak," she muttered, "but they don't understand. We're the storm beneath the calm." As the Virex fleet retreated, shattered and humiliated, a broadcast from the war spirits echoed across every communication channel in the system. "Earth endures. We are the Fury awakened. Let the galaxy remember the price of arrogance." Across the stars, the message spread like wildfire. Traitors, mercenaries, and governments alike paused to listen, suddenly aware that the long-lost cradle of humanity was no relic to be plundered. It was a force reborn. The first strike was not just a warning. It was a declaration. Humanity was back, and it would not be ignored. Beneath the shattered surface of a remote lunar basin, deep inside a cavern carved by forgotten tectonics, the cryo-chamber doors hissed open. Serena Kessler blinked against the harsh white light, her senses flooding back with every breath. Disoriented, but alive, she struggled to sit up, memories flooding in, training drills, war councils, the final orders whispered on a dying Earth. The world she'd awoken to was alien, unfamiliar, and broken, but her resolve was unshaken. Somewhere in the ruins of humanity's cradle, her people were stirring. She would find them. Outside, hidden, nanoforges hummed to life. Long-buried factories, sealed for millennia, began reconstructing themselves from ancient blueprints. Automated systems churned out materials once thought lost. Reinforced alloys, energy cells, and weapons of strange design. These machines were the heartbeat of humanity's resurrection, engineered to rebuild the remnants of a civilization once shattered by war and exile. In the ocean's depths, buried beneath kilometers of ice and rock, the legendary warship Ares Crown surfaced. Its hull gleamed with an eerie phosphorescent light as its systems reactivated. Once a myth whispered among stars, it was now a symbol of defiance, a fortress ready to shield Earth's rebirth. Within the ship's command deck, holographic schematics flickered. Serena's fingers traced the ancient star maps etched into memory banks, charting courses to forgotten human colonies scattered across the galaxy, silent witnesses to Earth's former glory. Her thoughts were interrupted by a sharp alert. Unknown vessel approaching at high speed. announced the ship's AI, voice smooth but wary. Serena's gaze hardened. Prepare defenses. We don't know if it's friend or foe. The vessel slipped through the shadows, revealing itself as a sleek scout craft. Its hull bore the markings of an obscure faction, one known only to a few as the Sentinels of Viridian, a secretive alliance of human descendants who had lived in exile for generations. The scout's pilot stepped aboard the Ares Crown, eyes wide with awe and relief. We thought Earth was lost forever. You've awakened something powerful, Serena nodded. We have not just awakened, we are reclaiming. Back on Earth's surface, the war spirits guided small teams into the ruins of old cities, searching for bioreservoirs and data cores containing the genetic blueprints and memories of the lost generations. Each discovery was a piece of the puzzle, a thread reconnecting the scattered tapestry of humanity. One such team uncovered a hidden vault beneath what was once New Chicago. Within, they found a holographic message from the last human leader before the fall, a warning and a call to arms. Humanity's greatest strength has always been its spirit, the message said. We may sleep, but we never forget. When the time comes, we rise as one, stronger, wiser, and unbroken. The words reverberated through the team, igniting a fierce determination. Across the solar system, the galactic web buzzed with speculation and fear. News of humanity's resurrection sent ripples through trade networks and war councils. Alien factions debated whether to ally with the reborn species, seek to crush it before it grew, or simply watch and wait. But the war spirits and their resurrected humans had little patience for diplomacy. Our legacy is not to be bargained with, Serena declared as she prepared to lead a reconnaissance fleet beyond the asteroid belt. We will remind the galaxy why Earth was once the heart of human civilization. As the first fleet of reclaimed ships slipped silently into the void, Earth itself seemed to pulse with renewed life. Ancient war machines hummed awake, and from the shadows of forgotten bunkers, humanity's warriors, reborn and reforged, steeled themselves for the challenges ahead. For they carried the burden of a promise, to never again be the hunted, and to awaken the galaxy to the truth that Earth still burns with a fire no enemy can extinguish. The grand hall of the orbital station Elysium was silent but tense. Representatives from alien factions known across the stars gathered around a colossal circular table, its surface shimmering with star maps and holographic data. At the center of this gathering stood Lyra Kessler, newly appointed envoy of the reborn human empire. Her presence was a statement. Humanity was no longer a forgotten shadow, but a player on the galactic stage. The alien dignitaries exchanged wary glances, some masking fear, others thinly veiled hostility. The galaxy had always written Earth off as a dead world, but now the message was clear. Humans had returned, and they demanded respect. Lyra's voice cut through the murmurs. We come not seeking conquest but survival. Earth is ours and we intend to defend it. We extend a hand of peace, but make no mistake. If threatened, we will unleash a fury unmatched. The alien ambassador for the Virex Accord, a towering figure with chitinous armor and multifaceted eyes, leaned forward. You expect us to believe the myths of your war spirits and ancient legacies? Your first strike against us was an act of aggression. Why should we trust you? From the corner, a cloaked Viridian diplomat whispered, They are more dangerous than we imagined. Do we negotiate or prepare for war? Lyra's eyes narrowed. Because unlike you, we have not forgotten how to fight and how to win. We survived the extinction you thought permanent. We have weapons, knowledge, and warriors who carry the blood of centuries. Behind her, holograms of the Ares crown, orbital defenses, and awakened human fleets flickered. The room's atmosphere shifted. Doubt crept into even the most hardened, alien minds. Yet not all were convinced. Some factions saw humanity's resurgence as a threat to the delicate balance of power in the galaxy, a power vacuum they had exploited for generations. Plans were whispered in shadowed corners to undermine or eliminate the humans before their strength grew. Meanwhile, back on Earth, The war spirits ran simulations deep within their neural cores. Thousands of scenarios played out: diplomatic failures, full-scale invasions, betrayals from within. The consensus was grim. An all-out galactic war was inevitable. Arcos paced the strategy chamber, his digital form flickering with suppressed fury. We cannot rely on hope or diplomacy alone. We must show our strength. Celine Var's hologram responded sharply. A demonstration, one that cannot be ignored. Something that forces every faction to reconsider their stance. Mirakethra nodded. But it must be precise. Excessive violence will only unite our enemies against us. After hours of debate, a plan was born. A coordinated strike against an abandoned Virex weapons depot hidden in the Astoria belt. A symbol of human resistance and warning to all who doubted. Serena Kessler volunteered to lead the mission. We will take what they thought lost and turn it into a message. Earth is awake, and we will reclaim our place. As the fleet prepared, emissaries from various alien factions sent their own agents, spies, diplomats, and saboteurs, seeking to influence the outcome. The galactic game had begun in earnest. The attack unfolded with ruthless efficiency. Human fleets struck swiftly, disabling enemy defenses with electronic warfare and precision strikes. The depot's destruction sent a shockwave through galactic intelligence channels. Back on Elysium, Lyra received encrypted messages warning of growing conspiracies. Some factions plotted alliances against humanity, while others quietly approached with offers of uneasy peace. She understood the stakes, the fragile peace was a chessboard, and every move counted. The war spirits gathered again, aware the galaxy was watching. We are no longer the hunted, Arcos said, his voice resonating. We are the storm rising from ashes. Our legacy begins now. The path ahead was uncertain, but one truth remained. Humanity had awakened, and the galaxy would never forget the fire they had unleashed. The glow of Earth's twin moons bathed the newly rebuilt city of Nova Perseus in cold light. Beneath its towering spires and bustling streets, unseen forces stirred. The war spirits had awakened humanity's might, but not all within the rising empire shared a single vision. In a dimly lit chamber deep inside the Ares crown, Serena Kessler reviewed intelligence reports. Her face was tense, the weight of leadership pressing heavily on her shoulders. Rumors of dissent had reached her ears, whispers of factions within the human ranks questioning the war spirit's dominance, craving freedom from ancient codes and strategies. Her comlink buzzed softly. The voice on the other end was urgent, cloaked in shadows. Serena, you need to see this. A holoscreen flickered to life, displaying intercepted transmissions, coded messages between high-ranking officers and alien conspirators. Plans of sabotage, subterfuge, and assassination unfolded in stark clarity. Betrayal. How deep does this go? Serena murmured. Meanwhile, in the corridors of Elysium, Lyra Kessler sensed the tension swelling like a storm. She had just returned from a tense negotiation with a faction known as the Kier Syndicate, a ruthless mercenary alliance eager to exploit humanity's internal divisions. Trust is a rare commodity, Lyra had warned them. Cross us, and you will face the wrath of a civilization reborn. But the Syndicate's leader only smiled. We don't need your trust, just your weakness. Back on Earth, the war spirits convened urgently. Arcos's luminous form pulsed, with restrained fury. Our enemies gather not only outside but within. We must root out these traitors before they unravel what we have rebuilt. Celine Var's hologram flickered. We cannot afford civil war, but secrecy is our ally. The war spirits activated a covert internal security network, a digital web of surveillance and counterintelligence. Agents moved like ghosts, uncovering cells planning to destabilize the fragile new order. In the shadows, a figure slipped through the labyrinthine passages beneath Nova Perseus, a man once loyal but now consumed by ambition. Darius Vex, a former war spirit programmer, had grown disillusioned. To him, the ancient codes were chains that shackled humanity's true potential. He whispered to hidden followers, "The war spirits belong to the past. We must forge our own destiny, free from their control. The galaxy will bow to those who wield true power." As tensions escalated, a sudden explosion rocked the lower districts of Nova Perseus. The attack targeted a key nanoforge facility, halting weapon production and throwing the city into chaos. Serena's voice rang out over the emergency channels. "Secure the area. Find the perpetrators." The investigation led to a chilling discovery. Darius Vex's fingerprints were all over the sabotage. But more alarming was the revelation that he had allied with alien mercenaries seeking to cripple humanity's rebirth. Lyra coordinated with Serena, their forces racing to contain the uprising and prevent the conspiracy from spiraling into full-blown civil war. In a tense confrontation aboard the Ares Crown, Serena faced Darius. His eyes burned with fervor. But she saw the man he once was, the idealist twisted by betrayal and ambition. "You don't understand what the war spirits are protecting," Serena said, her voice steady. "This isn't about control. It's about survival." Darius sneered. "Survival? Or domination? I choose freedom, and I'll tear down the old to build something new." The battle that followed was fierce, but brief. Loyalists clashed with rebels amid the ship's corridors, nanoblades, flashing and pulse rifles humming. The war spirits lent their strength, digital warriors interfacing directly with the ship's systems to isolate and neutralize threats. When the dust settled, Darius was captured, but his words echoed ominously through the command decks, a reminder that even among the resurrected, old wounds and ambitions could tear them apart. As calm returned, Serena and Lyra stood together, gazing out at the stars. "We face enemies without and within," Lyra said quietly. "Our greatest battle might be keeping humanity united." Serena nodded. "But we fight as one or we fall divided." Above them, the war spirits watched silently, knowing the war for humanity's future was far from over. The cold metallic corridors of the Ares Crown echoed with footsteps, quick, deliberate but cautious. Serena Kessler moved with purpose, her mind racing through the intelligence she had just received. The holographic display hovering before her revealed a tangled web of deceit. Coded transmissions intercepted from high-ranking officers within Earth's fledgling forces, linking them to shadowy alien factions eager to see humanity crumble from within. Her jaw clenched. After centuries of slumber, after awakening a war spirit that had brought humanity back from the brink, now they faced an enemy in their own ranks. She called for an emergency meeting of the war spirits in the command chamber. The spectral forms assembled swiftly. Arcos's armored figure pulsed with restrained anger. Selenivar's hologram flickered sharply, and Mira Kethra's calm presence was tinged with concern. "The betrayal runs deeper than we feared," Arcos began, voice grave. "Our enemies do not merely come from outside, they are among us." Selene's eyes narrowed. "We must act swiftly but discreetly. Civil war at this stage would destroy everything we have built." Mira nodded in agreement. "A subtle hand is required. We will use our surveillance networks to root out traitors without panic." Meanwhile, beneath the gleaming city of Nova Perseus, secret meetings convened in shadowed chambers. Darius Vex, once a revered programmer who had crafted parts of the war spirit's neural networks, now led a clandestine faction that rejected the spirit's control. "The war spirits cling to old codes," Darius whispered to his followers. "They bind humanity to past mistakes. We must break free and claim our future on our own terms." His faction had gained troubling alliances with alien mercenaries, the Kier Syndicate and other opportunistic groups eager to sow chaos. Together, they planned sabotage to cripple Earth's war infrastructure. Suddenly, the night was shattered by an explosion. One of the planet's key nanoforge facilities, responsible for manufacturing weapons and armor for the resurrected armies, erupted in flames. The blast sent shockwaves through Nova Perseus, igniting fear and confusion among the population. Serena's voice cut through emergency channels. "All units, secure the area. Find the perpetrators and stop any further attacks." As loyal forces scrambled, the war spirits deployed covert agents, digital wraiths moving unseen through networks, hunting encrypted trails left by the saboteurs. The investigation quickly pointed to Darius Vex, facing betrayal by someone once trusted, stung deeply. Serena grappled with the reality that the enemy was no longer just external alien forces, but also human ambition and dissent. In a tense confrontation aboard the Ares Crown, Serena confronted Darius. The corridors were dimly lit, shadows flickering against steel walls. "You are one of us," Serena said, steady despite the tension. "Why betray the legacy we fought to reclaim?" Darius's eyes blazed with conviction. "Because the war, spirits are chains. They bind us to an old way of thinking, a way that nearly destroyed us. I seek freedom, Serena. Freedom to shape humanity's future. You mistake control for survival," she replied. "This isn't domination. It's protection against a galaxy that remembers us only as ghosts and against ourselves." Their argument ended in conflict. Loyalist forces clashed with Darius's rebels in a brutal skirmish aboard the ship. Nanoblades clashed, pulse rifles fired, and electronic warfare lit the corridors with flashes of blue and red. Through it all, the war spirits lent their might, digital warriors interfacing with the ship's core, isolating sabotage attempts, and cutting off rebel communications. When the dust settled, Darius was captured and his plans thwarted. But his final words lingered in the minds of those present, a warning of fractures yet to come. As calm returned, Serena and Lyra stood side by side on the observation deck, gazing out at the distant stars. "We face enemies without and within," Lyra said softly. "Our greatest battle might be keeping humanity united." Serena nodded, determination hardening her gaze. "We fight as one, or we fall divided. The future depends on our unity." Above them, the war spirits watched silently, aware that the true war for humanity's destiny had only just begun. The stars themselves seemed to hold their breath as the Ares Crown and its fleet emerged from the shadow of the outer rim, cutting a path through the void toward the heart of the galaxy. Humanity was no longer hidden or divided. It was a rising tempest, fierce and unyielding, a force awakened from ancient fires. Serena Kessler stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the holographic map that displayed the approaching enemy coalition. Virex warships, mercenary squadrons, and alien fleets who sought to crush Earth's resurgence before it could fully ignite. But beneath her calm exterior, a fierce storm raged, a storm born from centuries of exile and the unbreakable will of a species determined to reclaim its destiny. "Status report," she commanded. "Shields at 80%, her tactical officer replied. "Enemy forces are mobilizing. They expect us, but they underestimate the war spirits." Arcos's spectral form appeared beside her, glowing with a cold blue fire. "Let them come. Their arrogance will be their undoing." The Ares Crown pulsed with ancient energy, its weapon systems humming with power drawn from the depths of Earth's forgotten technology. Around them, the fleet tightened its formation, ready to unleash a fury that would echo through the stars. Lyra Kessler joined Serena on the bridge, her face resolute. "This is it. The moment we show the galaxy who we truly are." The first shots rang out like thunder. Energy beams streaked across the void, missiles arced in deadly parabolas, and electronic warfare scrambled enemy sensors. The battle was brutal and unrelenting. Amid the chaos, human fighters piloted with uncanny precision, their maneuvers a dance of death learned from the war spirit's centuries of warfare. Every strike was coordinated, every retreat calculated, but the enemy fought back with desperate fury, determined to snuff out the human flame. In the midst of the battle, a new threat emerged, a colossal dreadnought of unknown origin, cloaked in shifting shadows, its weapons crackling with raw power. It moved like a predator, cutting through the fleet with terrifying efficiency. "Focus fire," Serena shouted. "Bring it down before it breaks our lines." Arcos's voice rang out. "I will bind its shadow with the flames of the ancients." With a roar of energy, the war spirits channeled their power into the Ares Crown's core. The ship glowed with a blinding light as ancient technology merged with modern firepower. The dreadnought faltered, its shields flickering under the relentless assault. Simultaneously, ground forces on Earth mobilized, launching coordinated strikes against enemy staging points. Across the planet, humanity's warriors, reborn and fierce, fought with a ferocity that stunned the galaxy. As the battle reached its crescendo, Serena felt a surge of pride and hope. Humanity was more than survivors. They were warriors, defenders, legends reborn. When the enemy lines finally broke, retreating into the blackness of space, the fleet let out a collective cheer. The galaxy had witnessed a storm unlike any before, but the war was far from over. In the quiet aftermath, Arco spoke solemnly. The awakening has begun. They will come again, but so will we. Lyra smiled, her eyes shining with determination. Earth endures, and so does humanity's spirit. As the Ares crown and its fleet turned back toward home, the stars seemed to blaze a little brighter, signaling the dawn of a new era. Humanity had awakened, and the galaxy would never forget.